Newsies. Now, we all know the big three in the scene. Rev, Khyo, and falseEyeD. Now, I know False and Khyo pull up that professional newscaster sort of vibe, but let's get real, commentary and news reporting are pretty much the same. Only real difference is how much personality is put into the story. Commentary is innocent enough, just talk about some random event that happened over the past week, rinse and repeat. But not everyone really enjoys commentary channels. There are some out there that will straight out of the gate just call them toxic drama farms. Personally, I don't have a problem with any of them. I think reporting on things that happen in the scene is an invaluable service, especially for documentary purposes. So if something happens in the community, people should know. It's the internet. Drama farming isn't anything new. You do something stupid, people will farm you for content. Doesn't even have to be stupid, people will farm you for content. In this aspect, newstubers really do get the short end of the stick. It is true that they do farm drama, don't even try it. I just feel it's more a misrepresentation because some of their most viewed videos will be about some random internet beef or an expose. But that's not really them, that's just how the internet works. Clickbait titles, twitlongers, rage bait comments. The internet is built around negativity because negativity sells. It leaves a sour taste in people's mouths when most of your cash is earned on the backs of other people suffering. Catch is, it's not so much drama farming as it's casting as wide a net as they can. Because they really do farm anything that happens by, just the most reward is going to be the negative stuff. The top headlines, stuff like that Selen termination, which ties into another reason people tend to give him hell. Thankfully, this doesn't occur as much with the big three that anyone really gives a shit about, but it does happen occasionally. We get it, you know, it happens. Sometimes it's slow content week, can't get a story out all the time. You have the big three that upload like pretty much daily, so sometimes they stretch the news a bit. Make something that isn't that big a deal just a tiny bit bigger, add some extra spice to the Hoover stew. Admittedly, I do hate this stew. It's what I like to call juicing a story. Holy crap, yo, check out this beef. You click and it's like they unfollowed each other on Twitter.
Doki Bird, please stop using this to get public sympathy. Attempts are not something light or in any way a ploy to get attention. So this person is downplaying.
I genuinely do not understand the importance of that. Call that the boomer in me, okay? But no one likes to be clickbaited like that. Please give me better Goislop next time. When you're doing news reporting, people do treat what you say as gospel. If you amass any sort of an audience, you're held to a way higher level of accountability. That more or less just bleeds into an issue of being a large creator. People's reputations are on the line, so it makes sense. When things get misreported, they do cause real harm, especially if the creator themselves is relatively small. They almost never have the ability to contest any sort of large-scale allegations. And even if they manage to, people forget in less than a week that you ever contested them in the first place. It's the internet. People will try and downplay any sort of W. You're not a bully like 99% of society. Congrats! Best case scenario, the newstuber corrects any loose ends they have in their initial video, but it's not like that exactly solves the issue. It has been observed that correction videos get far less views than initial reports. So it's not even like your name is completely cleared even after you get absolved. 10k people see the first report for 4k to see the update. It's not something like Charlie or like Mogul Mail where they have that sort of dude bro sort of an out. You don't go to them for facts, you go to them to laugh at someone else. When you're news reporter, people take what you say as 100% factual. So in that regard, you'd better triple check all sources. All three of those problems are branched from one main root problem. This is the biggest, if not one of the biggest issues with news VTubers. It has more to do with how the profit structure for news bleeds into it. In order for something to be news, it has to be new. Big surprise. After hearing the same story like 3 or 4 times, viewers get bored. Information gets stale, nobody wants to read that shit again. So, strike while the iron is hot. The best min-max build is to get the story out first. This creates a world where the guys who get the most views have a direct profit incentive to rush a story. This shows an overlap with things like guides in video game reviews or tech reviews. First guy to the party gets all of the cake. Reporters themselves are often rushing it before all parties even have a chance to even respond. Surprise! You get double the amount of content that way. For a moment, public opinion may favor one party until more evidence comes to light. Then you find out the initial story wasn't all that truthful, or at the very least accurate. Maybe it left out some key details, taking others out of context. It falls into the same consequences of misreporting. Fewer and fewer people pay attention to the follow-up story, dealing the same public damage. So if in theory they can be this dangerous, why are there so many people in favor of them? From the outside, it does seem like the only people that genuinely dislike them are the ones that have the most skeletons in their closet. Ergo, the most farmable. The crop fears the farmer. I don't have any problem with any newstuber channels. I believe they do provide a valuable service, even if it ends up being negative. People need to know if something happens. Viewers don't want to watch someone who doesn't share their values, and creators don't want to risk death by association. We can't pretend that there isn't any value in that, but it being negative at the top doesn't mean it's a bad medium as a whole. It's just a result of the internet being the internet.